Hi everyone. So today we're going to talk about creating a symbolic self-portrait. And this is a little different than a traditional self-portrait. It's not the look in the mirror, draw what you see in the mirror self-portrait. This is more about creating an image based on more about who you are, important things about you, things about your history, or maybe even how you're feeling, because those are all really important things about you. So we're going to talk a little bit more about that. But to get started today, all you need is a piece of paper or two, blank pieces of paper, and something to write with. So I'm using a Sharpie, but you can use whatever you have around you. It'll work. So don't worry too much about that. All right, so I'm going to start first by I'm going to start brainstorming things about me, because I'm going to use myself as an example. So I want to start off with just thinking about important things about me. So I'll just think of some basic things at first. Like, for instance, I have 3 children. I have 3 boys. So those are really important. They're really important to me. I have a husband. So I can start by talking about my family. I can talk about where I live or where I grew up. I grew up in Providence, Rhode Island, but I have been living on Cape Cod for many, many years now. I can talk about where my family is from. Much of my family is from Ireland. So I'm Irish, and the other half of my family is from Canada. So I'm French Canadian. So those are all really important things. And I can go into, maybe there's a different language spoken in my house, or maybe I'm from a different country. So I want you to think about those things as you begin to brainstorm. And I'd like you to aim for about 10 things, 10 important things about you. So think about that. What's important in your culture? Maybe you have some family traditions. So once you're done getting through this part of the brainstorming, the important things about you, then I want you to start thinking about adjectives to describe you. Okay, so these are going to be words that describe you. So let's think about that for a minute. It could be the way somebody might describe you. Like, for instance, my best friend might think I'm funny, so I could write that as an adjective about me. Somebody might think I'm quiet. Okay, that's a good adjective about me. But you can also go into other ideas, like how you're feeling, especially during this time. Are you feeling anxious? I know I am. So I'm going to definitely write that one down from one of my adjectives. Are you nervous? Are you excited? I'm definitely excited about getting back to school and seeing you all. So I'm going to use that as one of my adjectives. So I want to put down as many words to describe me as I can. So your first part, important things about you, things about your life, okay, things about your culture. Down here, it's words that describe you. So that's the first part of this project. Now we're going to take these ideas and we're going to turn them into what's called a symbolic self-portrait. We're going to turn this into a picture, a design. So I'm going to show you an example of a finished one. And so this one right here, and you can tell, hopefully you can see the outline of what they started with. I'm going to assume this person started with the outline of their profile, their silhouette of their profile, the side view of their head and shoulders. So they started with this shape first. And then they took the idea, the important things about them, and they filled this entire shape with those important things, things that represented them, symbols of them. When they were done with that, I'm going to guess that now they took the adjectives that they brainstormed and created a design of words around the original shape. And so we're going to go about this in the same way. So you're going to take these items, the things about you and the adjectives, and now you're going to start a design. So I took an item about me. I have a pet cat named Coco, and she's very important to us. So instead of putting a shape of my head, because you don't have to, you can start with any shape that makes sense to you, that might be significant to you. So I took this very important kitty cat, and she's going to be the start of my design. So now I'm going to take the ideas, the important things that I brainstorm here, and create images within this shape that represent those images. Okay? When I'm done with that, I'm then going to take the adjectives that I brainstormed and create a design around here using the words. It's a word design around the shape. So now I get to show you and I just continued creating one for me, and I can show you what that looks like. So again, I took the kitty cat and I created images within here of items that were important to me. And if you look closely, you can see I went beyond the items that I already wrote on the list. So I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I'm an artist, obviously. I'm an art teacher. So I did the painting palette and paintbrushes. I included my closest family, my husband and 3 boys. I included a shamrock for my Irish heritage and the Canadian flag for the rest of my family. I also included where I went to college. I went to Boston University for art school and to learn how to be a teacher. After Boston University, a very important part of my education on my way to becoming a teacher was working at the Perkins School for the Blind. And I represented where I'm living now, Cape Cod, with a picture of Nobsco. So then when I was done with that, then I took adjectives that would describe me. Now, it was okay to use some words within here too, but around here, I want to use those adjectives. So you remember me saying I've been feeling very anxious about everything lately, so I included that. That's an important part of how I'm feeling and who I am now. And that's okay. And it's okay to share that with us. I'm also feeling very excited, like I said, to get back into school. I used the word artistic, and I would continue to create a design until I have this paper filled with not just the images, but then the words all around the cat. And so I want you to really take some time to think about this. This is not due today. We'll have some time to work on this. It's not something I want to rush you through. I want you to give this a good amount of thought, but I also want you to have fun with it.